Rewriting Your Destiny, How Black Women Can Shatter Invisible Ceilings. Welcome to the BlackCEO Podcast. Today we have the extraordinary privilege of sharing insights from our recent interview with Kristina Mason, a visionary whose impact on empowering Black women is nothing short of revolutionary. Kristina's journey and wisdom have the power to transform lives, challenge societal narratives, and pave the way for a future where Black women fully embrace their infinite potential. Imagine for a moment that you're standing at the edge of a vast, uncharted territory. This landscape before you represents your potential, your dreams, your future. But between you and this promising horizon stands a formidable wall, a wall constructed brick by brick with societal expectations, historical oppression, and internalized doubts. Now, what if I told you that this wall isn't as impenetrable as it appears? What if with the right mindset and tools, you could not just scale it, but dissolve it entirely? This, my friends, is the transformative idea at the heart of Kristina Mason's philosophy. As a Black woman and a successful entrepreneur, Kristina has navigated the treacherous waters where race, gender, and ambition intersect. She's faced the headwinds of systemic oppression and emerged not just successful, but empowered. And now she's on a mission to help other Black women do the same. Let's dive into the core of Kristina's message. She argues that oppression for Black women isn't just an external force. It's a narrative that we've been conditioned to internalize and perpetuate. It's the voice that whispers, "You can't," when we dream big. The doubt that creeps in when we're on the verge of success, the fear that holds us back from demanding what we're worth. But here's where it gets interesting. And trust me, you'll want to lean in for this part. Kristina believes and has proven through her own remarkable journey that we have the power to change this narrative. We are, in her words, infinite, iterative, brilliant beings. We have the capacity to rewrite our stories, to challenge the status quo, and to create lives that reflect our true potential. Now, I can almost hear some of you thinking, sure, that sounds great, but easier said than done, right? Well, buckle up, because we're about to explore exactly how Kristina suggests we do this. And let me tell you, it's both practical and revolutionary. First, let's talk about awareness. Kristina emphasizes the importance of recognizing how oppression manifests in our daily lives. It's not always overt discrimination or blatant racism. Sometimes it's the subtle ways we limit ourselves based on internalized beliefs about what we're capable of or what we deserve. Let me share a story from Kristina's own journey that illustrates this point beautifully. Early in her career, Kristina found herself hesitating to negotiate her salary for a new position. The offer was decent, and a part of her felt she should just be grateful for the opportunity. That nagging voice in her head whispered, "Don't rock the boat. You're lucky to even be considered for this role." But then something clicked. Kristina realized that this hesitation, this fear of asking for more, was oppression at work. It was the internalized belief that as a Black woman, she should settle for less. In that moment, she made a choice. She chose to challenge that voice. With determination in her eyes and fire in her belly, Kristina did her research, prepared her case, and walked into that negotiation room with her head held high. And you know what? She didn't just get a little bump in salary. She secured a 20% increase in additional benefits that set her on a trajectory for future success. This experience taught Kristina a valuable lesson. Often, the biggest obstacle to our success is the limitations we place on ourselves. It's a lesson she's carried with her throughout her career, and one she's passionate about sharing with other Black women. Now, let's talk about the power of self-reflection. Kristina encourages us to regularly examine our thoughts, beliefs, and actions. Are we making decisions based on our true desires and potential? Or are we being influenced by societal expectations and internalized oppression? Here's a powerful exercise Kristina suggests. I want you to take a moment right now. Close your eyes if you're in a safe place to do so. Imagine your ideal life, your dream career, your ultimate goals. Really let yourself feel it. Now, pay attention to the thoughts that immediately follow. Do you hear excitement and determination, or do you hear doubt and reasons why it's not possible? Those limiting thoughts, that's where the real work begins. But it's not just about identifying these beliefs. Kristina emphasizes the importance of actively challenging and reframing them. This is where the magic happens. It's about taking that doubtful voice that says, "You can't do that," and responding with, "Why not? Who says? What if I can?" Let me share another story from Kristina's journey that beautifully illustrates this point. When she first considered starting her own business, that familiar voice of doubt crept in. Black women don't own successful businesses, it whispered. You don't have the right connections or resources. But instead of accepting these thoughts, Kristina chose to question them. She looked for examples of successful black women entrepreneurs. She sought out mentors and resources. She reframed her narrative from I can't to I'm learning how. And let me tell you, the results were nothing short of extraordinary. Today, Kristina is the proud owner of not one, but two thriving companies, Simply Stunning LLC and Kristina Mason LLC. Her journey is a testament to the power of challenging and rewriting our internal narratives. Now let's talk about action, because while awareness and reflection are crucial, they're only the beginning. Kristina is a firm believer in bold, intentional action. She encourages black women to step out of their comfort zones, to take calculated risks, and to unapologetically pursue their ambitions. This might mean applying for that job you think is out of your league, speaking up in meetings even when imposter syndrome kicks in, or starting that business you've been dreaming about. It's about acting in alignment with your rewritten narrative, the one that says you are capable, deserving, and unstoppable. But let's be real for a moment. Kristina is no Pollyanna. She acknowledges that this journey isn't always smooth sailing. There will be setbacks, moments of doubt, times when the old narrative tries to reassert itself, and that's okay. Remember, we are iterative beings. Each challenge, each setback is an opportunity to learn, grow, and refine our approach. Kristina shares a powerful metaphor for this process. She likens it to learning to play an instrument. At first, the notes are discordant. Your fingers fumble and progress seems painfully slow. But with consistent practice, with each iteration, you improve. The notes become clearer, your fingers more nimble, until one day you're creating beautiful music that moves people's souls. In the same way, rewriting your narrative and creating the life you want is a skill that can be developed with practice. Each time you challenge a limiting belief, each time you take a bold action, you're strengthening your ability to shape your own story. Now, let's address the elephant in the room. This process of rewriting our narratives and creating the lives we want doesn't happen in a vacuum. Kristina is keenly aware of the very real systemic barriers that black women face. But here's where her perspective is truly revolutionary. She argues that by changing our internal narratives, we equip ourselves with the resilience, confidence, and determination needed to challenge and change these external systems. In fact, Kristina sees this personal transformation as a form of activism. When we refuse to be limited by societal expectations, when we boldly pursue our ambitions and create success on our own terms, we're not just changing our own lives, we're challenging stereotypes, breaking down barriers, and creating new possibilities for other black women. This brings us to another crucial aspect of Kristina's philosophy, the importance of community. While the journey of rewriting your narrative is deeply personal, it doesn't have to be solitary. In fact, Kristina argues that it shouldn't be. She encourages black women to seek out and create supportive communities where they can share experiences, offer encouragement, and celebrate each other's successes. These communities can take many forms: mentorship, relationships, professional networks, or even informal groups of friends with similar goals. The key is to surround yourself with people who believe in your potential, who will challenge you to dream bigger, and who will support you through the ups and downs of your journey. Kristina herself is a shining example of this. Through her work and her companies, she's created spaces where black women can come together, share their stories, and empower each other to rewrite their narratives. She believes that when one black woman succeeds, she opens doors for others to follow. Let me share a story that beautifully illustrates the power of community in this journey. Kristina once worked with a group of black women professionals who were all struggling with imposter syndrome in their respective fields. They started meeting regularly, sharing their experiences and challenges. One woman, let's call her Sarah, was hesitant to apply for a promotion she was more than qualified for. The group rallied around her, helping her recognize her worth and encouraging her to go for it. With their support, Sarah not only applied for the position, but nailed the interview and got the job. But the story doesn't end there. Sarah's success inspired the other women in the group. They saw in her what was possible for themselves. One by one, they started taking bold actions in their own careers, negotiating raises, starting businesses, pursuing advanced degrees. The ripple effect of one woman's success transformed the entire group. This story underscores a powerful truth. Our individual journeys of transformation are interconnected. When we support each other, when we celebrate each other's successes, we create a rising tide that lifts all boats. As we near the end of our time together, I want to circle back to the transformative power of Kristina's message. By challenging the narratives that have been imposed upon us, by boldly rewriting our stories, we're not just changing our own lives, we're contributing to a broader shift in society. Imagine a world where Black women universally recognize their infinite potential, a world where we're not held back by internalized oppression or societal expectations, a world where we're free to dream big, to take up space, to demand what we're worth. That's the world Kristina Mason is working to create, and she's inviting all of us to be part of that change. So what's your next step? Kristina challenges each of us to start today. Begin by examining your own narrative. What stories are you telling yourself about what you can achieve? What limitations have you accepted as truth? Then start rewriting. Challenge those limiting beliefs. Dream bigger. Take one bold action, no matter how small, towards the life you truly want. Remember, you are an infinite, iterative, brilliant being. You have the power to shape your own story, to create a life that reflects your true potential. And as you do, you're not just changing your own life, you're helping to rewrite the narrative for all Black women. As we conclude this inspiring journey through Kristina Mason's wisdom, I want to leave you with a challenge that might make you uncomfortable, that might push you out of your comfort zone, but that has the potential to change everything. I challenge you to identify one limiting belief that's been holding you back. Maybe it's the belief that you're not qualified enough for that dream job. Maybe it's the fear that you don't have what it takes to start your own business. Maybe it's the nagging doubt that you don't deserve to ask for more in your relationships or your career. Whatever that belief is, I want you to write it down. Look at it, really examine it, and then I want you to challenge it. Ask yourself, where did this belief come from? Is it really true? What evidence do I have that contradicts this belief? Now, here's where it gets real. I want you to take one action this week that goes against that limiting belief. Apply for that job you think you're not qualified for. Take that first step towards starting your business. Ask for that raise you've been hesitating to request. And as you do this, I want you to remember Kristina's words. You are infinite. You are iterative. You are brilliant. You have the power to rewrite your story, to shatter those invisible ceilings, to create a life beyond what you've previously imagined possible. This isn't just about personal success. This is about creating a ripple effect that can transform our communities, our workplaces, our world. Every time a Black woman steps into her power, she lights the way for others to follow. So are you ready? Are you ready to pick up the pen and start rewriting your destiny? Are you ready to challenge those limiting beliefs and step into your true potential? Are you ready to be part of a movement that's redefining what's possible for Black women? The power is in your hands. Your story is yours to write. It's time to make it a bestseller. Thank you for joining us on this transformative journey. Remember, every day is a new page, a new opportunity to write the life you truly desire. Now go out there and start writing your masterpiece. The world is waiting for your brilliance to shine.